Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. Was good, was good, was good. So, need to switch over to that. That works. There you go. We're doing a little bit better now. Little bit of problems. I think Vimeo's trying to make a comeback. So that's a good thing. What do we have going on today? We've got a lot of news out there. So we can see that Bitcoin is taking a hit. It did drop yesterday below $100,000. Right now, it is currently at 101, 180, which is a good thing. Something that I did again was I played with Aster again and took about a 15% profit this morning, just before the show. I'm playing that volatility. So if you figure I got 20% the other day, 10% yesterday, 10% today, I'm well on my way to doubling my money. That's the idea. I mean, I've done it throughout the year. Just play volatility whenever I can. Why? Because you can make money. I want to increase my value. That's what I want to do. Increasing your value is the name of the game. I don't think in terms of money. I think in terms of value. So I might have 100 tokens. And right now, those 100 tokens are worth, call it $100, a one-to-one, right? That $100, it goes up to 110. I sell. Comes back down. I buy. Goes back up. I sell. Seems very simple, but you have to know the asset that you're playing with and be prepared for a market turn at any time. You might sell too soon while the market's about to shoot up. So you have to do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Now, yesterday, you saw the votes. Now, I'm not going to talk politics, but I do want to talk about how in New York City, you have the new mayor or a new incoming mayor who's talking about going after the top 1%. Some people are actually thinking, oh, that means he's going to go after crypto. A new incoming mayor who's talking about going after the top 1%. Some people are actually thinking, oh, that means he's going to go after crypto. He's targeting the top 1%. They might own crypto. Maybe, perhaps. Stop thinking like that. You do you. You do you. He's trying to make it a little bit better for everybody, or so he says. We have yet to see it. We'll see what happens while he transitions and while he does other things. That's what I'm paying attention to. I'm paying attention to increasing my value and not the dumb politics. Unless they're specifically targeting something in crypto, I'm not paying attention to that. Unless they're targeting something that's going to affect the laws around crypto, I'm not paying attention to that. That's why I bring up this subject. Because a lot of people are hooping and hollering or really angry or whatever. No. Does it affect your bag? Does it affect your bag? If the answer is no, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Don't get stuck in the quagmire. Don't do that. Don't do that. You want to know something else that I saw yesterday or this morning? Gemini wants to get into the prediction markets. And I'm like, everybody wants to gamify investing, which is why I try to take it as seriously as possible, because it's not a game. It's not a game. And if you just look at it as a game, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem if people start looking at investing as a game. I've said it before. I'll keep saying it. You're going to have to invest just to survive. Is survival a game? No. Survival is not a game. So do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. You want to learn more? Go buy my books on Amazon. You'll get a crazy good idea about what you're doing, what it is that you're doing, why you're doing it, how to do it, all these different things. Your foundational information on how to be in the crypto game so you are ready to invest and not play games. I'm telling you, investing is not a game. And when I look at companies that are trying to get there and say, oh, yeah, we're going to get into predictive markets and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, nah, I'm good off that. Oh, yeah, don't forget to invest in yourself today. All right. That's very important. Your first investment is right here. Your first investment is right here, and it doesn't cost you anything. Just putting that out there for you. Norway suspended. Norway suspended its $2.1 trillion sovereign wealth funds ethics council. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? I think it's because the ethics council was thinking about divesting from companies like Amazon, right? And Alphabet, and you start to go, oh, that's why. That's a huge move. Huge. What should that be telling you right now? It should be telling you that the global economy is in a shambles. Trust in the United States is iffy. That's a huge move to say we're gonna put you guys on hiatus for right now, so you don't do anything that messes us up, or could mess us up, or send the wrong signal. Imagine a sovereign wealth fund divesting from U.S. companies, the impact that it would have around the world. Because remember, we live on a tiny blue marble. It's not a big blue marble anymore. Not when you can have monetary transactions or value transactions happen in seconds. It's not that kind of game anymore. Keep it real, folks. Keep it real. What else we have going on? Franklin Templeton has joined Grayscale in updating its S1 filing for their spot ETF, removing the 8A delay clause, potentially launching as early as October. Not October, November, like in now. That's huge, because I think they all think that the government's going to start to come back to work, and that's why we're seeing all these filings. We're seeing small changes like this. We're gonna remove the delay. We're gonna add staking. Do you see what's going on? I think we're about that far away from a huge wake up. So although I sold Aster this morning, I'm probably going to be looking to get back in a little bit later today, because I think there's going to be another dip. Because I think there's one more dip, at least one more dip, before the government opens. And if that happens, I want to be positioned well. I'm not going to be upset if the government opens and I'm a little late. I'm still going to get in probably lower than what it is. Just not as low as I wanted to be. And then we'll watch it rise. Now, my other purchase I'm taking a loss on right now, which is Chainlink, and I'm not upset. Why? Because I think Chainlink is going to get right back to where it was before all of this and approach 25. In which case, I would be almost at 1x if I get in when I get in at 14 and 15. So I'm fine with that. See what I mean? So I'm fine with certain moves that are going on right now. Canada's 2025 federal budget, they're trying to do the same thing as the United States and regulate stablecoins. They need that space to regulate stablecoins, and they're moving in that direction. This is why I keep telling you guys, you have to look at the news from a global perspective. And I'm going to tell you something. I think I'm going to stop using the term global. I think you have to just say news. Because if you're not looking at the news from a global perspective, all the way down to local, you're not actually doing your own research. You're only scratching the surface. And you're barely doing that. So I want you to think bigger when you're doing your research. We did something here that's affecting other countries, making them go, oh, I like the way they're doing it over there. Maybe that model would fit over here. Canada's not the first one. So pay attention. Why? Because prices around the world fluctuate, and not everything fluctuates at the same time. There are ways to win. Yes, there are ways to lose, but there are ways to win. What else do we have? Animoca Brands plans a NASDAQ listing via reverse merger with Current, I think it's Current C Group, just the letter C, to create an all-coin index vehicle by later this year, because it's not going to be 2026. That's too far out. It says 2026, but I think that's too far out. It can't be. BitGet launched Get Agent, an AI trading agent, obviously for crypto. I want you to pay attention to that, because that to me is scary. There's no way in the world I'm going to let an agent buy things and sell things for me. No, I'll have it give me, ideas. I might even have it tell me, hey, these are your points of entry. These are your points of exit. Like my company, we built, a financial advisor in a box. And every time we think of, oh, you know what, we're missing this feature, we just add the new feature to the agent. That's all we do. We add the new feature to the agent. Is it as good as a human agent that's been in the game for a while that might know a particular sector or might have, a Rolodex that they can tap into to get me in on things? Probably not. Probably not. But I bet you I can sit down and I can replace almost everything that human agent can do with my digital agent. Oh, they don't have the connections to get you in on some of these IPOs. Do you know how many platforms are out there that do pre-IPO sales that you can tap into now? Yeah, there are a lot. One of them just got bought. I told you about it last week. So go back and read the article. Yeah. What else do we have? We've got Bitcoin analyst Willy Woo asserting that MicroStrategy, currently known as Strategy, will not liquidate its billions and billions, its tens of billions of dollars in Bitcoin if the market takes a real hit. And by that, I mean like hitting below that $89,000 point. Right? Yeah, there's a floor at 89 and change. Not 90, but 89 and change. That's why everybody says 90. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that either. I think they're going to stick with it and not have an issue with it. And the reason why is because that's Michael Saylor's track record. He did it before, he'll do it again. And trust me, it was a way larger hit the last time he did it. Remember, from 69,000 all the way down to 15, 16,000? Yeah, he was in it to win it all the way. Bought on the way down, bought on the way up, and that's why he can afford to weather the storm. He's not thinking day to day. He's not thinking minute to minute. He's thinking years to years. Pay attention. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of stuff that you can learn from, right? There's a Columbia University professor that says that the over 200 crypto treasury companies that now exist are the ones that are driving crypto down right now. Looking at his math, I can see why he's saying that. I can absolutely see why he's saying that. And I'm kind of like, interesting. I look at, no matter how small an idea is, I will review that idea because it could do something good for my bag. Maybe it'll do something bad for my bag, but I pay attention to it and I gather an understanding about it. And then I place odds on how much do I believe that, or what are the odds of that happening versus this? And then I make my adjustments appropriately. And I know I use the term odds and it sounds like betting, but I'm not betting. I'm calculating the different paths that an event can go and understanding what are the effects of each one of those, not from just a numbers perspective, but ongoing. What are the effects that could happen with each choice that's there? To think of it more as a decision tree analysis. That's what I do. That's why I keep telling you guys, do the math on some of these things. Do the math. It's important. It's more than important. Right now, we're looking at a sea of red. And there are a lot of calculations that you could be doing because it's going to take, in the past 2 days, I've made over 30% on my money and they've been down days. So when I tell you there's a way to make money when the market's down, there's a way to make money when the market's up, I'm telling you this because it's real, because you can verify it. You can go through and literally say, yeah, I could. He said he got in at this point, got out at that point, got in at this point, got out at that point. And I'm sure that a lot of you out there have done the same thing. You've looked at certain coins and you've said, oh, I think it's going to hit this and I'd probably sell there. And I think it's going to hit this and I'd probably buy here. You're doing your own research. you're knowing your entries and exits, and you're absolutely investing deliberately. That's the thought process. I'm literally showing you how I practice the GMB3. That's the GMB3 in action. In action. I studied a couple of cryptos. I got to understand their rhythm. Know how I used to talk to you about a coin's rhythm? How it's going to act, how I think it's going to act when the bad news comes, and whether or not it was on an upswing or downswing. Remember when I said that? Yeah. Now I'm showing it to you in action. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should go over the numbers. Why should we go over the numbers? Because there's like a ton more news that I can't get to. It's just too much. And I need to go down to the city today. So I want to make sure that we actually go over the numbers, because there's a lot there. There's absolutely a lot there. Let me get my notes out of the way. And let's start with the stock markets. Dow futures 16 positive, implied open. That's basically unchanged. S&P, same thing, 12.25 down at the moment. That's basically unchanged. NASDAQ futures down 82.25. That can be an indicator. Oil up 0.42. US 10-year down 0.006. So there's a lot to unpack with that. What else do we have? We've got earnings today. McDonald's, AppLovin, Qualcomm, ARM, Robinhood, McKesson, DoorDash. So you have a lot of companies in this list that I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be paying attention all day, especially when I look at Allstate. And some people are probably going, why are you paying attention to Allstate? Because it's an insurance company and our country has issues with insurance. So I want to see what's going on. Yo, Stephen Palmer, what's good, what's good, what's good? Thank you for joining in. Appreciate that. Don't forget to invest in yourself today. What else do we have going on? We're not getting any economic data. Everything, any kind of data that the Fed gets for a December decision is, to me, frankly, is going to be synthetic, or, coming from another place. Like, think about jobs and ADP. Just saying. Fear and greed index is at 23, up 2 from 21. We're still in deep fear. We're still in extreme fear. DeFi Llama down from 138. We're down to $132.689 billion in total value locked. That's a steep drop from the 160s that we were at before. Looking at Bitcoin itself, you can see that huge drop right here. Let's get the bands closer so you can see more bands that I have playing around. Look at that. That's a no bueno move. That does not look pretty, because we're well below my 102,771, and we're well within these two bands. That's not where we want to be. But I will say this. If you look at from right here, just recovering to 109, how much money could you make? And I know I always show you guys just this chart. I show you just, Bitcoin. But pay attention to the other coins that are out there. When I see Bitcoin move, right? Bitcoin moves in smaller waves. Altcoins, some of those altcoins are moving big when Bitcoin moves. So pay attention. Pay attention. There are opportunities out there. I keep talking to you about them. They're real. Going on. Look at that. This is not pretty. None of this is pretty, right? But when I think that Ethereum was just at 4,000, oh yeah, no. Ethereum at 3285 looks delicious to me. Bitcoin at 101, I got out at 101, made money. I can get back in right here if I want to. Why am I not? Because I believe I can make more money playing with altcoins. And I just sprinkle into my HODL wallets, my hold on for deal life wallets. I sprinkle DCA into those, and I do the volatility thing over here with these wallets. So would I get back into BTC right now? No, I'm trying to maximize value. In these wallets over here, my trading wallets, I'm trying to maximize value. So I'm not getting into BTC right now. I'll wait. Even if BTC goes up, it's going to go up, 10, 20%? Let's pretend it goes up 20, 25%. Okay, let's play around with that idea. It goes up 20, 25%. Hits a new all-time high. That's pretty. While this is going up 20, 25%, something like a Cardano could 1x, 1 point something X. Did I did I get more value out of Cardano versus Bitcoin? Yes. That's why I do that. And even at that point, I could take that and shift it from Cardano over to Bitcoin. I'm not sleeping on any of that. Nope. I have no time for that. None. Increase value. I'm increasing my value because over time, these things are going to go up. It's a matter of when, not if, it's a matter of when. We've got a couple of catalysts coming our way that can definitely move the market upward. So I'm just holding. I'm just holding right now, playing the volatility where I can. That's what I'm doing. So what looks delicious to me right now? Excuse me. I'll rattle it off as quickly as I can. BTC, BCH, BNB, ETH, Solana, if you're into that kind of thing, because you could probably make about 25% off of that. It goes back to where it was. XRP is looking beautiful to me. ADA, XLM, SUI, Avalanche, LTC, Doge, SHIB, Link, Aave, definitely Aave. Ton, SUI. Ton got smacked on the knuckles the other day. Or not Ton themselves. Yeah, no, Ton themselves got smacked on the knuckles yesterday. Was it Ton? No, it's a company. It's a Ton treasury company. Got smacked on the knuckles by the SEC. Or the SEC or CFTC. I have to go back. There's been so much news and so much going on. I can't cover everything. I apologize. I know I'm not joking. I apologize. I can't cover everything. Hype looks good to me. So there are a lot of coins that I'm sitting here and I'm just going, wow, I could get into those and be all right. Like I've been having conversations with my kids for a minute about playing the volatility. That's why I keep telling you guys again, it's about understanding the rhythm of the coin itself so that when the market has impacting news, whether it's positive news or negative news, if it's positive news and the coin is on an upswing like this, it's going to exacerbate that. And the same thing goes in reverse. And then you're talking about, well, if you get positive news while this is going down, does it ebb that flow? Does it stop it from going any further? Possibly. Or we can get little blips. So how did I make money? How did I make that 20% on Astra the first time? I was awake and was paying attention to CZ dropping $2 million as a purchase. He's worth about 89 billion, so 2 million is nothing. But he dropped it and it shot up. I was able to get out at $1.20 something. So I was able to get out and it dropped. It dropped hard down to like 90 something. Yeah, Buddy Boy got back in. That's right. And this morning I got the heck out. It hit 113. Thank you. I don't care if it goes up again. I don't care if it goes up again. I'm doing, in my trading wallets, I'm playing the Warren Buffett game. I set a number in my head that I want to make somewhere between 10 and 20%. I'm paying attention to those numbers. And when I feel good, I drop it. That's it. I'm out. And I'm not going to get upset if it keeps going up because I made what I was supposed to make. I made what I wanted to make. I don't get mad about that. I don't get mad about making money. Oh, well, you could have made more money. And? Because the same way that somebody will come at you and be like, oh, you could have made more money, is the same way they can come at you and say, well, you could have lost more money. I like to be neutral. I like to keep emotion out of my money movements. Emotions can get you into trouble. That's what it can do. So yeah, you're looking at a sea of red. A sea of red. And, you know, Mantle's hurting my feelings, but I think that'll come back up, so I'm not all too worried about it. Let's see. Where are you? Right there. Aster. Whoo! I literally just told you I got out of Aster at $1.13, and here it is at $1 now. Yeah. So what am I thinking? I'm thinking it's going to fall some more. I'm going to let it rock. I'm going to let it rock. I'm going to let it drop a little bit more, and I'll probably wind up getting back in. Because it's showing me a range. It's showing me a range, and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to stick to it until I can't stick to it. I know that's nebulous, right? It's because we're in a market right now where in a heartbeat, the government can wake up and go back to work. So I can only play this game until that happens, because that will be a market catalyst. What's the next market catalyst? Oh, the next market catalyst is going to be a string of ETFs that will be approved. A string of ETFs will be approved. And then each one of those coins will get a nice little pop. So yeah, I'm waiting for those. So in my trading wallets, I'm like, yeah, give me those pops. Thank you very much. Give me that money. And then what happens after the ETFs? Most likely a decrease in the interest rate in December. That's what I'm looking at. So yeah, when I look at those things, I'm looking at opportunities that can actually make more value, increase my value. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes. Definitely become a subscriber. And if you can, become a member, because membership has its benefits. Like this Sunday, there's a huge membership benefit. If you're a big bagger, you already know that we have our monthly video conference calls with just big baggers. Just people that are deeply interested in increasing their value. And we have that video conference call, that private video conference call once a month with yours truly hosting. So if you're looking to learn more, you're looking to do more, you're looking to share more, become a big bagger. Again, like I said, that's an additional benefit. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. I'll fight for that every day. Everyone have a good one. I'll see you tonight on the Crypto Overflow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.